Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to our coffee times to talk about horror, and today I bring you a spoiler-free movie review. I'm here to talk to you about the newest entry on A Quiet Place franchise. We're here today to talk about A Quiet Place Day 1.
It's coffee time!
I know this review is coming out a little bit late, but I have been crazy busy. I am sick at the moment and I'm just trying my best. So I hope that you guys are still interested to hear my thoughts. By now, probably a lot of you have already seen it, which is great. I'm not gonna talk about spoilers anyway. I am going to dive deeper into some character stuff and other things, but I will not comment on any ending or spoilery bits. So grab your cup of coffee and let's get to it. When A Quiet Place came out, I really enjoyed the film. I thought they did something quite unique and I loved the take that John Krasinski had in the movie. I think it had some very unexpected moments, and unexpected moments where your mouth gets open in horror is something that doesn't happen quite often to me, and I feel like A Quiet Place did manage that. When they released A Quiet Place 2, I was a little bit nervous, but I actually really loved the film as well, so I was really excited / nervous to see that there was going to be a new entry, especially because this one was not going to be directed by John Krasinski. Michael Sarnowski is the guy that is directing this new entry, A Quiet Place Day 1, which is an apocalyptic horror film, and it is going to be the third in the franchise, but it serves as a prequel, so this is supposed to be the beginning of it all. We all know by now that there is these monsters, these extraterrestrial creatures that are very sensitive to sound, so we know that people in these movies need to stay very quiet, and this is going to be the same formula again for this film, because this is the beginning where the creatures actually land on Earth and all hell breaks loose. When New York City comes under attack from an alien invasion, a woman and other survivors try to find a way to safety. They soon learn that they must remain absolutely silent as the mysterious creatures are drawn to the slightest sound. Now I'm gonna dive deeper into the characters, and I'm gonna talk about Lupita's character, Sam, and I'm gonna talk about her character in detail. So if you really want to go into the movie completely blind, then maybe come back once you've seen the film. But what I'm gonna talk about is something part of her character that it is not mentioned in the trailer, but it is the first opening scene of the film, so don't consider it a big spoiler because that's how the movie opens up. So Lupita plays Sam. Sam is a woman that is in a hospice because she is a cancer patient, and she knows that her end is coming soon. She has kind of already accepted that, and she's just trying to make the best out of it, and she has a very interesting attitude as well. The hospice organizes a trip to Manhattan, and she wants to go because all she wants to do before she dies is to taste a very specific pizza that she used to get when she was a kid, and her hope is that by getting to Manhattan she's gonna be able to get a slice of that pizza. She just wants that New York pizza slice because it reminds her, like I said, to her childhood. She has really good memories with it. She knows her end is near, so that is kind of like her last meal, I guess, and that's why she agrees to take the trip to Manhattan. Making Sam an end-stage cancer patient is a very interesting take in this type of film, because you have a movie about the apocalypse where people are just dying left and right, and it is very interesting to have a character in the middle of it that knows her life is ending. So what is her motivation to keep going? Why would she fight for survival if she already knows that her life is ending anyway? So it's a very interesting take, and I really did enjoy that. However, I kind of wished that the movie would have also been a little bit more than a survival thriller in a way, and I felt like they focused so much on Sam and her sickness that we didn't get to see a lot of other things in the film. We follow Sam, but also we follow her cat, Frodo, which is one of my favorite characters of this film, is the cat. Now, talking about the cat and other things that happen in the film, other scenarios, other conversations, they are a little bit unbelievable. I think they push the boundaries perhaps a little bit too far sometimes, so you have to be a little bit in disbelief in order to enjoy the film. Apart from Sam and her cat Frodo, we also follow Eric, a guy that Sam meets randomly, and they become friends and they just are trying to survive together. And it's played by Joseph Quinn, and I really enjoyed him as Eric. I think both main characters did such a good job when it comes to the acting in the film, because it's a movie where they have to stay silent for very long periods of time, obviously, if they want to avoid the creatures. And so it is very important to have actors that can give you all the feelings, that can give you their thoughts just by the way that they look at each other or the way they look at things. It's very important that you have very strong performances so that the audience is with them every second and you don't lose them. We also get to see Henry again, which is a character from A Quiet Place 2, and his character is also very interesting because he has to make really tough decisions in the film, and his character is kind of like the epitome of how far would you go, what would you be able to do in order to protect your loved ones. So I really enjoyed his brief but very interesting appearance in the film. This movie felt like a slow burn, and I would have expected a lot more action because this is supposed to be the outbreak. This is supposed to be the day where all hell breaks loose. So I was hoping for a little bit more, and a lot of things also felt like they were hurrying, which is weird because it's slow burn, but then at parts I was like, why are we hurrying this? Why are we in a rush right now? And it's a movie that is not that long. I think it's around the 99-minute mark, and maybe would have benefited of being a little bit longer so that we would have had more time for the world building and building up tension. One of the things that kind of sets apart this film from the other ones is the setting. I feel like part 1 and 2, the settings were a little bit more claustrophobic. They were really small, they were very niche. We were following mostly a family, and now we have a whole city, and I don't think they utilize that. I don't think that they really made use of everything that they had available. You might be able to feel a little bit of tension here and there, but I felt like the stakes were not as high as part 1 and 2. I felt like this one, the fear, the tension, a lot of it was removed from the movie, and that was a pity for me. I think the director, also coming from making a movie like Pig, he puts a lot of emphasis on the characters, the melancholy of the characters, the emotional baggage that they're carrying with them, what it means to be in such a situation as a human. And there was a lot of attention that was put into the characters, their emotions, the drama, and that made the tension, the fear, the action-packed scenes, they just were lacking left and right. And it was a pity because the trailer and the look of the movie kind of gave me hope that I was going to enjoy it, and don't get me wrong, I did. I just felt like this was not the movie that I had signed up for. We never get the sense that we are in a crowded city on the first day of the end of the world. And the director can also not hide that this film was not shot in Manhattan. It was actually shot on London sound stages, which takes me to the horror. So this movie was advertised, and it says so on the title, as A Quiet Place Day 1. So Day 1 is when the aliens arrive to Earth and all hell breaks loose. And so I was expecting a movie about that. And it is not exactly what I got. There was a little bit of story about the aliens, but so brief that it was just not enough, and I felt a little bit cheated because I was hoping to learn more about these creatures, about why they landed on Earth. I was hoping to see more about, you know, the actual Day 1 apocalypse, which went by really quickly the first day. I also felt like they learned really quickly how to protect themselves from the creatures. We're talking here Day 1. They're not supposed to know how these creatures like work. They're not supposed to know that they react to sound. I don't know. I just felt like this was not exactly a day one movie. The focus was not the devastation, the deaths of that first day. It was more about the drama and the emotions of these characters, especially of Sam, who is someone that is currently a cancer patient that knows is dying very soon. So her vision on this whole apocalypse is so different from everybody else, which is interesting to have, but I feel like there was so much focus on that this ended up being like a thriller drama more than a horror movie. There was also not much tension, as I've mentioned before, so the tension was missing. There wasn't much horror in the film apart from we have creatures, they're aliens, that's the horror, and there was just too much emphasis put on the drama, and I ended up being disappointed. I feel like part of it is because I went in with other expectations, and the other part is because there was absolutely nothing fresh, new, innovative about the film. We didn't learn any more about the creatures really, and it was a missed opportunity in my opinion. But don't get me wrong, the acting was great, it is a beautiful story. It's just not exactly what I had signed up for. In the end, I gave it a 3 out of 5 because the movie did have many good things. As I've mentioned, it had really strong performances and, you know, it had a beautiful emotional story. I really liked that Sam's character was a little bit different from what we're used to see in these typical apocalyptic movies. But at the end of the day, this is supposed to be a horror movie, and there was no tension, there was barely any horror. The movie didn't add to the franchise, which is something that I always look for with sequels or prequels. Like, it has to add some value for it to be justified, and I didn't think that it added anything, which again, missed opportunity because they could have like explained a lot more about the creatures and where they came from, and just giving us barely a glimpse and just moving forward, like I said, it just felt rushed. So I was a little bit disappointed. There are also some inconsistencies with the other two films. I'm not going to talk about it because it's spoilers potentially, but yeah, all in all, sadly, I didn't love this as much as I would have hoped. But anyways, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this spoiler-free review of A Quiet Place Day 1. Let me know down below if you watched the movie, if you've enjoyed it, and which one is your favorite from the franchise. For me, it's always going to be number 1, followed close by number 2. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!